All right, so welcome back to part two of the $1 million launch. Now, in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the traffic and the lead generation side. So I'll be showing you what we did with the ads, how we got, I believe in total, it was like 15,000 registrants for this launch. I will explain what our strategy was. I'll show you inside the ad account. I'll explain our testing and scaling process for the ads. And then I'll also run through the ad types as well that we used and explain why they worked so well. So if you haven't watched the first video, then I advise you to go and watch that video now, which is the video posted on the channel before this one, because that's going to explain everything that you can see on the screen right now. But essentially, the end of last month / start of this month, we did over 500K cash collected for one of our clients and did over $100 million in total sales revenue. And I'm doing a 4-part series explaining the process. So let's look at the ads then and look at the numbers. So you can see here, let's jump this down. These were the total numbers for the entire launch. So we had 14,000 people register in total. And you can see organically, it was up for around 6,200. And you can see from paid, it was 7,800. And you can actually see the sales conversions as well. So we'll touch on that slightly. I'll talk more about this in the final video, which will focus on sales. But you can see it was a very strong conversion rate. From the leads to the sale, and this sale was for a 2 to 5K product, depending on which one they decided to buy. Organically, obviously, it was more than the ads. We converted 4.1%, which is very, very strong for that price point. And for the paid cold traffic, we converted 1.32, which again is an incredible number. One of like the unwritten rules of the marketing industry. If you can convert 1% of your leads into like a high ticket product, anything between like 1 to 5K plus, then you can really scale this thing. And we converted 1.3. And then obviously organic was totally on another level. So on average, it was 2.73%. And again, we mainly did Facebook ads for paid. That was all the paid traffic was from Facebook. And then we did some social media marketing and then email list as well. So if we look at the ad spend in detail, and I know this isn't the prettiest number breakdown, but you'll be able to see it pretty clearly. On registration ads, and we have ad account 1, ad account 2. We didn't end up using ad account 2. So on registration ads, to get people to register, we spent just over 30K. We got 7,832 leads total, which means the total lead cost is $3.87. This one is actually AC. So this is the data from inside the ad account, and AC stands for active campaign. So we take the data from active campaign just to make sure that the leads are matching up. There was a 2 lead difference. It is what it is, right? It doesn't really matter. But we take the active campaign number as a total. So we spent just over 30K on leads, got 7,800, which means our total lead cost was $3.84. And this is marketing like a business opportunity. So this is it's like a niche business opportunity. So these people are already kind of like aware of the business and have thought about starting the business before, and we show them how to start, basically. So that being said, that's a pretty good lead cost for this type of biz op. You know, usually people are happy to pay like $10 plus per lead. So it's very, very strong. Now the ad spend, this is a breakdown of the entire ad spend. So again, just over 30K on registration ads, reminder ads, and sales ads. I'll be honest, the reminder ads and sales ads, there was no crazy strategy here. The reminder ads were literally just very basic ads retargeting all of the leads saying, hey, you've been accepted to become a beta tester. Make sure you join the Facebook group. It starts on this date. Very, very basic ads. We only spent like $300 plus bucks. Probably could have spent a lot more, to be honest. Should have probably spent a lot more, but it wasn't like a big part of the strategy. So it's pretty basic ad layout. The sales ads very similar. I'll touch on this during the sales video, but we spent just $1,700 on sales ads. So this was after the offer went live, retargeting all the leads, being like, hey, go and check out and buy. And we ran that for about a week-ish. So in total, we spent $32K on ads. So $32,321. So I just wanted to add these in here as well. So you can see this was the total spend on registration. This is the total spend if you include the sales and the reminder ads. From the ads alone, we did $145K in cash collected. We did over $316K in total sales. So the net profit was 285 grand from the ads. The cash profit, so just on cash collected alone, was $114,000. So you can see the cash ROAS was 4.8. The total ROAS was 10.4. If you account for the reminder and the sales ads, it was still an incredibly great result, 4.5 cash ROAS and 9.8 total ROAS. So completely like top end of the market, best result we could either hope for, for a cash ROAS for 4.5 from spending 30K is, pretty much every single marketing guru would bite your hands off to get these types of results. So I'm excited to share exactly how we do it. So that's kind of a breakdown of the numbers and what we did. Like I said, I'm going to talk around the ad types in a second here. So now I want to show you actually inside the ad account. And yes, I'm going to keep obviously the client confidential because that's just, standard practice. But I'm going to show you basically like the overview of the strategy and what we did. Now, this is something that we've tried basically for the first time. And we did lead forms. So we did Facebook lead forms. So we didn't run the ads with a link to a landing page where they registered to become a beta tester. We actually ran the native Facebook lead form. So what happened is someone would click and then you guys would have seen it. It just pops up natively inside of Facebook. And we basically just asked them a few questions to apply. So it was just like, what do you currently do? Why do you feel like you would be the right fit for this opportunity? So honestly, just very basic qualification questions. There was no crazy psychology in it. It was just literally I think it was like 2 to 3 questions, just like asking them what they did, why they feel like they would be a good fit, and if they could dedicate like 2 to 5 hours a week to become a beta tester. So pretty basic stuff, and then name and email address. And then once they got accepted on the lead form, the like thank you message would pop up and we would be like, hey, your application has been processed. Congratulations. We will email you soon if you have been accepted to become a beta tester. In the meantime, you need to join the Facebook group. And then we would link the Facebook group and we would just say to them, if we receive your application and we've seen that you've not requested access to the Facebook group, then your application will be denied. So the last step in the process is to basically click the link and you request to join the Facebook group, because we obviously want to get every single lead into the Facebook group. Helps with nurturing. That's where kind of like the magic happens and that sort of good stuff. So that's like the process. And I never used the lead form before, honestly, especially for info product stuff. So I was very like curious to see how it performed, and it did perform extremely well. So if we look, and I'm just going to take off the sales and the reminder campaigns. So if we look in total on leads, as I mentioned before, just over 30K, $3.87 cost per lead. And you can see here that clicks, we had about 20,000 clicks and about 7,000 leads, 7,800 leads. So that's like around a 33%. I know the click data in Facebook isn't the most accurate, but around a 33% conversion rate on the lead form. So about 33% of the people who clicked the ad actually ended up filling out the form, which is pretty good. It's not the best in the world, but it's pretty good. 33% on any type of opt-in or quiz or, survey and stuff. Pretty good results, right? It wasn't dramatically lower. What I would be interested in testing next time when we do this process is probably have 2 sets of campaigns. One go to a landing page, one go to a lead form, and then just see the conversion and the cost per lead. Because obviously people say Facebook lead form, the lead cost is usually a bit lower. So obviously our cost per lead was extremely low, which was good, but I'd be interested to test the landing page. But honestly, it was like super easy to set up the lead form. Took me 2 seconds. Didn't have to create an external landing page. Just I believe use Zapier just to zap them into ActiveCampaign. It was really easy to use, and a ton of people joined the Facebook group. I think we had like over 80% of the leads join the group, which is really, really strong. Sometimes in the past when you get leads to join a Facebook group, maybe like 50% will join, but we got like 80+%. I'll check the final number and I'll let you know in the next video. But it was really, really good. So you can see here, we started the campaign on the 1st of May. And this is all the registration ads. And you can see here that we spent $40, right? So this is literally us just testing like the first set of campaigns. Let's go back to here. So you can see $40 there. And then we just basically slowly ramped it up. You can see we spent on the second day $200. And we basically ramped it up, I believe around the 12th of May, we spent over 4.4K. So from the 1st to the 14th, we basically scaled it up to just over 4K a day in spend, right? So that was pretty cool to show how we scaled it from 0 to 4K a day. And then in total, before the launch officially started on the 14th, which was when basically like the first module or the first week of content was released, we'd spent 26K on ads. So we went from 0 to spending 26K in 14 days. Now, I don't want this video to go on too long. So there's another video on the channel where I actually show you our exact strategy from going from 0 to 4K a day. It's the same process, it's the same ad account, it's the same launch. It's just one of the previous videos on the channel. Maybe I'll link it at the end of this video, but you should be able to see it. The headline is like from 0 to 4K a day in spend, right? And I show you exactly how we did it. So we spent 26K, and then I believe from when it started till maybe like the end of the month, we spent, if I'm just clicking on the registration ads, we spent like another 3.8K. So as it launched, we still ran a few ads, but the lead cost just got, by like the end of the second week, the lead cost just got a bit high. And also, obviously, we're like 3 weeks into this thing. So like there was just no point. You can see we hardly spent any money there. So in like the second week, we spent, so yeah, eventually anyway, we just stopped all of the ads. So we spent a majority of the budget from the 1st to the 14th. You can see there 26, and then kind of like this week, for the rest of this week, we spent like another 3.7K. And then we just turned it off after the first week. So essentially what our strategy is though, it follows this document. And again, I've shared this document on the YouTube channel. You'll be able to find videos where I run through it. But this is our entire ad structure on how we like test and scale campaigns. So again, there's videos on the channel walking you through this exact document. Literally, it's like probably like a 20-30 minute video where I walk through it step by step. But essentially, our strategy is we test with loads of campaigns with ad set budgets, right? So all of these are our like testing campaigns with ad set budgets. And then once we have like 2 to 3 winners that are working well inside of a campaign, we will scale it with CBOs. So let's just pick like this for an example. This is a interest campaign. So this is basically us doing this part of the formula, where we basically test a load of different interests in one campaign, and then within each interest in each ad set, there are 3 ads. Now, across the ad sets, the ads that we use are identical, and then the ads themselves, it's either the same piece of copy 3 times, and 3 different images, or 3 different pieces of copy and 3 identical images. And sometimes we use 2, depending on what it is. So if we just go to here. So if we were to filter this by cost per result, you can see this was like one of the best performing ones. We only had 2 here. So you guys probably won't be able to see this, but this top one here is ad copy 1, image 1. And this bottom one here is ad copy 2, image 2. So here we were testing 2 pieces of copy and the same image. And you can see here, like across the screen, obviously the results are pretty good, right? For this ad copy 1 was the winner here. So it's like $2.51. And basically like within this campaign, we would just wait until ad sets are getting a good KPI lead cost. So basically in this instance, it was like below $2. And if it was below $2 and they had like maybe over 5 leads, had like 5 to 10 leads, then they would be ready to scale. And then we basically just pick 2 to 3 of the best performing ad sets and we duplicate it into a CBO and we scale that CBO. Again, go and watch the other video on the channel where I actually walk you through this like entire process. But that's basically in short of it, the strategy. So in total, we spent from the 1st to the 20th of May, we spent 8.7 grand on testing campaigns. And then if we look at all the campaigns that do have CBO, we spent 21 grand on scaling campaigns. So you can see here we had a ton of CBO campaigns. Like if we look, there's 41. So we had 41 scaling campaigns, all spending about 100 to 200 a day, basically in daily ad spend. And you can see here some of our like really best performing ones here. Just absolutely killed it. This one individually got nearly like 1,000 leads, right, for $2.77. So this strategy that I'm talking about works extremely well. It's literally the main thing I talk about on this YouTube channel. So there's actually a ton of videos on it. So that's the strategy with the ads. And we basically tested from like the 1st till around like the 5th. So see, from the 1st to the 5th, we didn't spend any money on CBO campaigns. Let's just see when we actually started spending. So we'd spent a little bit there. So I think it was maybe the Saturday. So yeah, from the 1st to the 6th, you can see this was no spend on the CBO campaigns. So it doesn't contain CBO. You can see here we spent 2.4K in the first 6 days. But then obviously if we switch back, so I'm switching back to the CBO campaigns. From this day onwards, then obviously until let's just say the 20th when we kind of stopped running the ads, boom, we spent like 21 days in CBOs. So the strategy really is if you're launching, in this instance, we were launching on the 14th, you want to spend most of your budget basically in like the 4 days before. So we only spent, what was that like? We spent a very little amount in the first week. It was just basically, let's just test as many different pieces of ad copy, videos, creatives. And we basically just tested as many as we could across many different audiences. And then in that second week, really, from the 7th to the 14th, we spent 19 grand. So we went up pretty quick, If we just get rid of like the total, in the first 7 days, let's just have a look at that. We spent 3.1 grand. And then in the second 7 days, we spent 23, right? So we scaled up pretty quickly. And the goal is to spend a majority of the budget, 3 to 4 days before the launch starts, because, if someone joins one of these launches 2 weeks before, very likely that they show up and engage. Maybe they will if they're like a follower or something, but if it's like a really cold audience, very unlikely that someone's going to remember 2 weeks down the line that they've like applied to become like a beta tester. So we try and spend the majority of the budget, a few days out, more likely that people will actually show up and engage. But it's interesting, the framing. So obviously it was, hey, apply to be a beta tester. So I think there was something in that. We definitely had good engagement. We had a ton of people join the Facebook group, even from the ads, and obviously they converted pretty well. So part of that, I think, was in the framing of, hey, it wasn't like, hey, register for this 5-day challenge where I'm going to teach you this, or register for this webinar where I'm going to teach you this, which, they've seen a million times before. It was like, hey, apply to be a beta tester. We're looking for people to give us feedback on our new program. You get access for free in return for giving us feedback. And if you enjoyed it, you can give us a testimonial. So it was a totally different frame. And I think that really helped warm the leads up. It made them stick a bit more. And even if they did maybe join a week before it started or 2 weeks before they started, because the framing was different, I think it was like pretty important. So now I want to look at the different ad types and basically like what our theory was, or what we tried to test before the launch and during the launch. So we basically had 3 main types of ads. And within these ad types, we had different pieces of copy within that, paired with different like videos and images and stuff like that. So we had direct ads, which most of the time we paired with an image. We had pain ads, which we paired most of the time with a video. And we had false belief ads, which we paired with a video. So the direct ads were probably my least favorite ads to write and run, because I don't really feel like they have, they're really good at copy. Like, I don't think they're that good. It's basically just like, hey, we're this person. We are running literally just saying the offer. We're running a pay to desk group teaching people how to achieve X, Y, and Z. All you have to do is apply, and if you're accepted, all we ask for in return is to give us feedback on the program before we sell it for, $2K. If you would like to apply to become a beta tester, just click the link below, right? Not the best copywriting in the world, just like very plain, bland, direct ads. But as a marketer, you have to appreciate that some people actually just, respond well to those types of ads. So that was like the first type of ad that we ran, and we had like a couple of variations of that copy, and we had a few different images. Then we had pain. So obviously we list out, before this campaign and before all of our campaigns, we list out all of the different pain points of the avatar, and then we make an ad for each. So for example, in like a BizOp example, one of the pain points maybe would be that they have tried and failed before. maybe one of the pain points is that what they're currently doing, they're experiencing like frustration with that particular thing. So in the business world, maybe they're experiencing pain with like generating sales. Maybe one of the pain points is generating traffic. Basically, like they're already on the path to achieve this goal, and what is something that they're getting frustrated with in a daily basis. Or maybe it's, if you're targeting more people at like a 9 to 5, then maybe one of the pain points is that they don't like their boss, right? So you just map out basically the top 10 pain points, and then you target, like you write an ad based on that specific pain point. Then we have false beliefs. So we write out all the false beliefs that our prospects have that stop them from moving forward. So for example, in the business world, it's very much like, I need a load of money to start my business online. I need to be really good at tech and like online stuff to make an income online. Maybe one of the false beliefs is that you have to take phone calls, like sales calls, to generate money online, right? And that's maybe a false belief. And if you sell a program teaching people how to, get clients without taking sales calls, then, that's a great false belief that you can break. So we basically, again, just map out the top false beliefs, and then you just think, okay, which ones will resonate the most with the audience and which ones do I feel would be good? And then you just create copy and video for each of those. So depending on how crazy you want to go with this and how much money you've got to test, you can obviously test like 5 to 10 different false beliefs, 5 to different pains, 5 different direct ads, and then just test them with different creatives focused on the same thing. And then eventually you'll go through the testing process, you'll find what works, and you'll be able to scale the winners. So for us, for example, one of the direct ones was literally that direct. It was probably like 2 to 3 lines long, and it was literally like, hey, we are these people, because there was 3 clients, like 3 business partners. We're looking for beta test group members to go through our new program. You'll get access for free. In the future, we're going to sell it for $2,000. All we ask for in return is that you give us feedback to help improve it and give us a testimonial if you got value from it. If you would like to apply, click, below. It was like super like basic, like wasn't good copy, right? And we just paired that with images of the clients in like lifestyle images, like they were like outside together, they were like in the mountains together, just nice lifestyle photos. And that worked extremely well. So that was kind of like targeting the people who just needed the deal, right? The people who they had this pain point, or like they were just interested in, this particular opportunity, and we had a free course teaching people how to do it. So they're just going to join, right? They didn't really need any convincing. Very simple offer. Then we had the pain ads. So again, we created multiple different pain point ads. And one of the biggest pain points of our customers, we had one that worked really well. So in all of these, we had basically one that worked well out of the multiple that we tested. The one pain point that our avatar responded to mostly in this example was basically knowing that they wanted to do this thing, which was to start this type of business. They had like an inner calling to do it. They knew it was like the purpose, for example, but they didn't know how to get started. They had all this fear, all this anxiety, all this confusion about how to make it possible. They had this big dream of their life, big vision for their life, but they just had like no clue how to get started, right? So that was the particular angle that worked the best for this customer and for this offer. And obviously in the ad and in the video, we say, hey, most people who want to achieve this thing feel like this. I felt the exact same way, but it wasn't until I did this thing that I was able to get past that pain and achieve the end result, right? And then we teach them, hey, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to move past this pain point. So it's basic direct response copy, but that type of structure of ad works extremely well, as long as obviously the pain point is, relevant to your target audience. And that particular one of feeling like overwhelm and confusion, even though like they knew they wanted to do this thing, like that one worked really well for our audience. Then the third one was the false belief ad. So again, we ran multiple different false beliefs ads, and we had one that worked the best. The one that worked the best for us was basically around them feeling like they needed to basically be good at like the tech stuff to start an online business. Now, it's a very basic point that a lot of people touch on, but I thought the way we did it was extremely well. So we basically got the client to start the ad where he was basically showing some of his old content that he'd posted online to build his business. And it was basically like one of the first videos that he ever posted online. And like the editing was completely off. Like it was like, number one, the camera quality wasn't good. The sound quality wasn't good, but he couldn't like edit it. He had like a banner over him in like a really weird place that had like insert title or something like that. It was basically like a horribly edited video and it was stupid, right? But he started holding his laptop up to the camera, showing them this and basically be saying like, look, this was the first piece of content that I produced. Look how stupid it was. Look how bad it was. It was ridiculous. Yet this video allowed me to go and do this, right? And he basically said, the whole message is, look, you don't need to be great to start. You can start by not having all the tech stuff figured out. Heck, you can even like post content that isn't professionally edited. But as long as it's like authentic and, you know, it gives value, then it's going to help you grow your business. So that was like the underlying message. It was a cool ad. The client was very good on camera and it was good like pattern interrupt, holding the laptop up to the screen. And it's basically just breaking that false belief of, oh, I need like all the tech stuff. I need like fancy equipment. I need all of that stuff. I need like a professional video editor if I'm posting video content. I need all that stuff before I can actually go out and start building my business. Well, we broke that false belief because we showed the client who is super successful at what he does. We showed them his first piece of content that he produced, showed them that it was awful. Yet, you know, this video still, you know, got him customers. It still allowed him to start basically growing his business. And then obviously as you do more of that, you get better and it becomes better, but everyone starts out at this point. So it's very normal for you to feel like what you feel. And then we broke that belief and then we said, hey, I'm going to be showing you how to do X, Y, and Z in this new beta test group, apply to, be accepted type of thing. So that's what worked really well. And the thing is, like, before you make these ads, you don't know which one's going to work well. That's why you need to at least make a couple, right? Maybe you don't need to make 10. Maybe that is overkill, right? But you need at least a couple to start with. You need at least a couple of direct ads. You need a couple of different pain point ads, and you at least need a couple of different false beliefs ads. And then you can then understand, okay, this is the message that the marketing is responding best to. And then you can make more ads based on the angles that are working well. So that's kind of like the breakdown in the ad strategy. Like I said, there is other videos on the channel, which I can link to you at the end of this video, where I run through this document in detail, our entire ad strategy. And I actually run through the ad account as well in one of the videos that I just showed you before of this launch and actually show you how we went from 0 to 4K a day. But I couldn't include that as well in this video because then it would just be like super, super long. So that's an overview of the lead generation process. What I'm going to run through in the next video in this series is basically run through this part and basically run through, how we actually nurtured these leads, what went on during the launch, what went on during the beta test group, and show you how we nurtured them and primed them to buy. And then in the final video, I'll talk through the sales cycle as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.